Hello, this is Spirit McGee, and I am interviewing my mother, Stephanie Bumpus. Mom, how old are you?
40.
Where were you growing up?
I grew up right here in Lexington on the east side of Lexington, close by where your school's at.
How was your life growing up?
It was fun. I was raised by my great grandmother, Miss Jimmy Lee Saunders, who was a wonderful woman. And, she raised me all the way up until she passed away, and I was 7 when she passed away.
Okay, so grandfather was in the army. Did he tell you anything about his army life?
No, he really didn't because he worked a lot. He worked at the Kingland in Turf Catering as a chef, so he was always working between 60 to 70 hours a week.
So, how was your life growing up as a child?
It was wonderful. Had good parents, good siblings, good family and friends. So it was a wonderful childhood.
Okay. When you were 16 years old, you had a car accident. How did that affect your life?
Uh, it didn't really affect my life completely. It just injured my spinal cord. So it had me stop doing gymnastics. I used to cheer with old lady named Naida and a little group that she had. So it made me stop doing it because I couldn't do it because of the fact of my spinal cord injury from that accident.
When you went to the University of Kentucky, you was in the Black Voices group. How did that change your life in any way?
Black Voices was wonderful. It didn't really change my life. It improved it because it was dealing, you were singing gospel music, and I grew up listening to gospel, so it was fun being around other people who enjoy listening and singing gospel.
If you had one thing to change in your life, what would that be?
Uh, I would change my degree status. Yeah, I got 2 degrees, one in business administration, one in criminal justice. And I would actually proceed on as being a lawyer because that was one of my dreams. But I didn't go further to be a lawyer. So that if I could change one thing, I would further my education on to be becoming a lawyer.
How did my birth affect you?
It didn't affect me. It was the happiest day of my life, You came at night, wasn't expecting you to come at night. Thought you were going to come anytime in the morning, but you was a night baby like I was. So it was the most happiest moment of my life.
Back in 2012, grandmother died. How did that change your whole persona on life itself?
It made me actually to install in you to appreciate your mother a lot more. You only get one mother in your life. And once they are gone, it's like losing your best friend. And my mom was my best friend. And, losing her affected me a lot because I lost someone that I could confide in, talk to, laugh, and joke with. And I don't have no one like that, and I will never get one like that again. So I always encourage you or any young people to always cherish and love your mother or your father, either or, to the fullest because you only get one.
And to wrap things up, our great grandparents were Indians and Africans. Can you elaborate on that and how did they come up?
Well, actually, my great grandmother Jimmy Lee Saunders, which is your granddaddy's grandmama, she was half Indian, black, and white. And when she was growing up, she was real high yellowish, like to where she could have passed as white because she was had beautiful skin tone of a like a white person and hazel eyes that changed colors. Um, your granny, my mom's dad, he was half Indian and black out of North Carolina. And so with the other heritages and roots, I don't know exactly, but I do know that for a fact because I did question them both, and they told me their nationality.
And lastly, has before grandmother Jimmy Lee passed away, did she tell you any about her problems growing up as a mixed child or anything like that?
No, she actually didn't have any type of issues or any problems. One thing I can tell you about Jimmy Lee Saunders, my great granny, was she was very religious. So her faith kept her going. Because if it wasn't for her and her faith, and upbringing me in church myself and believing in God as myself, and to instill into you and anyone else, um, that was her whole persona. She didn't care about anything. She just all she cared about was God and her faith.
Any other thing you wanna input?
Just all I know is, within this family that you were grew up in, we all are strong. We are all protective, and we are all loving people that will always do for one another or for anyone. We never meet a stranger, and we always courtesy to others. As our motto say, you do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So if you treat someone kind, they will respond back treating you kind. It's the way that you treat a person is how you get positive reaction back.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you, daughter.